Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and today we are going to be doing the Alteration review for the Moon Gundam here. So this is pretty much everything I have maxed out for the Moon Gundam. So, I did upgrade it 6-star, put some marks into them. So these are going to be the stats before Alteration. And honestly, Moon Gundam has a fairly good balance out stat throughout, so that's pretty good. As far as the active vortex that you can kind of get with the unit, you have Gundam type, you have for space, and then you have Protect. So this one is one of those situations where it's like a dual type build unit, given the kind of vortex that we are presented with here. Stat wise, shot right now it is a little higher because we also do have Gundam type active. So if we did have Protect activated, I think it should definitely be higher for melee stat. But let's just take a look at it after Alteration. We want to see how good is it. Just want to see what kind of stat differences. And by the time I finish going over every one of these parts, we will obviously take a look at them after Alteration and see how much of the improvement we are looking at. So let's actually get started with the head part. What is it? Oh, okay. So defensive stat is really good. So 6k for both. That's good to see. You definitely have to see that. As far as the trait goes, so first trait was really good. It's one of those enemy shooting power reduced by 30%, so that's good. Secondary trait is so it's boosting defender uptime by 60%. So it's good. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but I don't think it's necessary in a way. But I think you can actually stack these. I never actually tried it, but I'm assuming you can kind of stack it up just like how you would with normal portrait anyway. So that could be fun. But I would just have my phone hit as hard as they can, rather than sacrificing portrait that buff their uptime. So that's just kind of me. But stat wise is actually not too bad. But the tag on this one is just more suitable for like a shooting mixed build already. So that's kind of like sad in a way. But for a shooting based build, the head trait is really not acceptable. I'll rather have something that gives me some power boosting, but kind of being realistic, not every part is power boosted. They gotta add in different elements, so I'll definitely respect how they're handling that. So that one is definitely for like I would definitely put that even on like an ally build to just spice things up. But what about this? Oh, this one is actually not bad. You're getting like a freebie buff tray with there, so that's good. Outfighter, so this one does kind of have like a restriction already. This one does have to be an outfighter job license and also has to be in tech attribute, so that's that. So this one buffing upper, like the buff EX skill uptime is actually pretty good if you're talking about your ally build being like the supporting one that's buffing your overall squad, so that could be very important. So having that is nice. And this one does also gain another 35% due to the buff EX skill effects. So this one is a very good option if you want to put this into like an ally build. If you're talking about your actual main build, I will actually not go for this. Just because I feel like the main build should be the one that's outputting damage. So I'd rather have something that's more traditional power boosting stuff. So but this one is good. This one is definitely a very solid alteration. As far as the overall stat, like I said again, the Moon Gundam does present itself really balanced already, so that's kind of given from the torso already. Melee is a little bit higher, but in terms of the shots, melee defense, shot defense, they're all very balanced. So that's good to see. Gundam type, and then for space, once again for your tags right there. Alright, so now moving over to the arm, we have the butterfly edge as the EX skill. So let me just take a look at it before alteration. I'm expecting this one to be a D power. Yeah, so this one, without shadow of a doubt, this one after alteration is obviously going to be good because you're jumping from D power to B plus. So you're definitely going to be seeing the improvement. As for the stats, let's see what's going on. So 10k and then 4,500 for the shot attack. So that's I think that's pretty good. Obviously for any of these standard part, I don't have like an Excel sheet telling me, oh, this one is better than the other one, because I feel like standard is something that everyone could be having in their arsenal. So I feel like this is more just talking about, is it really worth the alteration, granted what is presented here. This one being an EX skill, obviously, if you do want to hit that extra notch, just being a little bit more powerful, definitely needed. But other than that, if your build is sufficient enough already, the power EX skill should, technically should perform well. If you don't want to spend the resources into alteration, just upgrading and all that. So tag wise, once again, it's gonna be Gundam type, and then for space, so definitely a little bit more favoritism to the shot based department. Link part, let's see what's going on here. So as far as the stat, melee is gonna have that upper advantage, and then shot attack. So it's pretty much gonna be 1,000 points apart. And then for your defensive stat, they're pretty much pretty much the same where they are, like pretty much the same. Only 300 less for the shot defense, but it's not that big of a difference. Now we actually see pro tag for the first time for the tag, so that's pretty good. Because they have, while pro tag is active, 33% chance of not recalling, so this actually stacks with other conjunction tag as well, so that could be cool if you don't want to ever get knocked down by any chance. So that's fun. But in terms of the first trade was like kind of like a nail, because you have to fall below 70%, which is kind of like hard. I just rather have something that I can use immediately than rather something later on in the fight. Like, I'm pretty sure 99% of the time I'll finish out a match and I will still have full HP. So this one is not really that good, unfortunately. We have the very pog EX skill. We have the Psycho Plate. So this one, even before Alteration, was hitting like a truck ready. So it's just like, what is it now? So this one is an A-. So I don't think we jump a whole lot, right? I don't recall now. B+, right? B+, yeah. So B+ to A-, not like the biggest, power jump, but I think we should still be able to see like a good difference. So for this one specifically, we will try out before Alteration and then after Alteration to see is it really better in a way. But the overall stat pretty good for the defensive stat, really balanced and just really high for standard, so that's good to see. Melee is still having that extra advantage, so that's pretty solid as well. Gundam type and then pro tag, so not bad. What about the beam tomahawk now? Let's see what's going on. So 13.3k. That's very respectable. That's actually really good. As far as the part tree goes, so we have the enemy melee power reduced by 30%, so that's pretty solid. And then okay, this one is good now. This one is really good. They're packing an EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. That is hot. So for anyone out there that is using like a tech attribute EX skill cooldown, this one is probably something you want to get into your box. This one is really good. So this one is definitely worth Alteration, definitely worth maxing out, because that is really beneficial. That, like, I would rather spend my force repair ticket on part like these than upgrading the limited parts, because like these are just so much more easier to fully max out. So that's good. We love to see that. So beam tomahawk, definitely the right now looking like the best part so far, like one of the more outstanding part in my opinion. So beam rifle, so 11.1k shot attack, so that's pretty good. One of these again, so 70% and lower, so this is pretty much gonna be like dead on like launching, so that's kind of sad. As for the secondary trait, we have the war space active, all enemy cooldown up by 33 or 23%. So this one is essentially just nerfing your opponent to get that to soliding that what is it, that 100% cooldown reduction type build, because like they have 100%, but you're taking 23% off what they have. So they think they have a solid 100%, but they will now need 123 to pretty much override this. So it's cool, just for that disturbance. This one is definitely really fun, especially for your 3v3. Just this is gonna cause a lot of headache for sure. So pretty good all around. So beam tomahawk definitely my top picks. As far as the other one, they're just kind of like meh, not really all that hype. So let me do alter every part, and then I'll be showing you guys like what is it after alteration as for the base stats. Alright, so after alterating every one of those parts, this is what we have as the final numbers. So as far as the opposite stat, they're now really balanced as well. So they roughly jumped up by total, like roughly about 10,000-ish area, but in terms of the defensive, they definitely went up by a lot. So that's really good to see. Because like even before Alteration, the Moon Gundam stat was really balanced. Like I want to say areas of like torso, leg parts, and even like the back part, they were all really balanced out. So even after Alteration, they just purely pumped up the offensive side just by a little bit. I want to say maybe 1.5 times more, and then the defensive side is really good now. So that's really good to see. So if you do ever want to use the Moon Gundam for whatever reason, I think it's definitely really good as well. Just kind of granted, some portrait may not be the best because this is more not looking at it at a glance. Everything this is more like that really supporting type role. You have some enemy reduction type power, like as far as the shooting power, they melee power. They also give you buffs. They give you those buff time up. So this one is that really, that supporting in a sense. Not looking at it in a at a glance and stuff. But up next, let's take a look at EX skill. I do want to see how they are, and yeah, we'll see what kind of number they can pump out. Alright, so we are in. So I guess we can actually start things off by using the arm EX skill first. I don't really remember what exactly it does. Oh, so it's a yeet. So that was like what, 2.5 million, and guess what? There was 2 hits right there. So if we would have landed the other hit, so that would have been 5 million on the spot already. That's good. Love to see that. So in let's say those boss motivation, that EX skill there would have shredded people already. So gonna find this fella once again. So now we are gonna be trying out the back part now. So I don't think I think within 1 strike or 2 we should be able to finish things off. So yeah, well, okay, so we are in already. So let me do activate my limit break real quick. So there are some traits within my build that were not activated because these EX skills are not buffed whatsoever. So we could have been hitting harder. Okay, so every hit was about 1 million from what I saw. So that's pretty good. Kind of granted, some of the portrait that I had was boosting beam instead of, let's say, physical. So that could be like some discrepancy that you're seeing. But let me quickly go over the build that I was using. So it was this build right here. So things I had like these one right here, like the buff EX skills. I have 2 of them, so they were not proctoring. And this one, they're not going off, so we could have been hitting a lot more harder. But overall, in terms of the Moon Gundam, definitely really satisfied with the Alteration. I think it's just not your typical like powerhouse stuff, but this one is definitely, just looking at it now, I think everything is really balanced out, more so to like a supporting type role, just having a reduction, just a little bit, not too much, where you can sustain a little bit longer for your ally, and then just having the ability to, let's say, buff up your over ally if that ally unit has buffers and all that good stuff. But overall pretty good. EX skill definitely really solid. They're just really hitting harder now. That's kind of granted with any alteration, but that's going to be pretty much it for me as for the first standard alteration of the our first 2 weeks there. So I will be going over the other standards of stuff within the upcoming days. So with that being said, that's going to be pretty much it, and then I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.